Hey guys, I'm Joby, and I'm Jeff, and we're gonna talk about the clean today here at ACF, talking about Olympic lifting, tons of fun, great stuff. So the first thing you want to do with the athlete, you want to make sure that they can receive the barbell in the proper position, all right? So Jeff's gonna go ahead and grab his bar. All right, so the big thing is making sure that they can at least rack the weight. So I want to make sure that Jeff can support the bar in the rack position comfortably, right? The barbell is resting on top of his shoulders, right? There's no pressure on his wrist, right? He's comfortable, he feels fine here, and he's not aggravated. It's not an aggravated position for him, right? So that's the first step. You want to make sure the athlete can get in that position. If they can't, right, they've got some mobility issues that you need to correct, so make sure you handle that first, right? It's never a lot of fun catching a barbell out here, right? I'll run to the load on his wrist. Not a good thing. All right. So that's issue number one. Now we're gonna break down into the 3 positions you want the athlete to hit as they're progressing through the clean, right? So I always prefer to start from the top down. It just seems like an easier way to teach, or just a better way for the athlete to grasp everything. All right. So number 1, I want Jeff to stick his chest out. I want him to turn his elbow pits forward, right? I want the brunt of the load supported in the lats, not in his hands, right? Because when it's just in your hands, if he's lax, right, that weight's gonna be out in front of him as he gets heavier, right? So the big thing is chest back, right? Elbow pits forward, weight in the lats, all right? Number 2 is just gonna kind of shift his weight to his heels, right? Making sure his chest and his hips are open, and he's just gonna unlock his knees, okay? This is what we call a high hang position. All right, from here, right, all I'm gonna ask Jeff to do is just jump, create some extension with his hip, and then pull himself down and around the bar, landing with the bar in that rack position that we talked about earlier. So he's gonna jump and pull, right, and he lands comfortably in that power position, right? So I'm gonna ask Jeff to do that again, making sure his weight's in his heels, right? Big chest, arms, elbow pits forward, he jumps, he pulls, right? And then he rides it down, right? Now the big thing as well, making sure we meet the barbell. We don't want to leave space between us and the bar. Right? As soon as we leave space between us and the bar, when we go to receive it, right, it's gonna come crashing down on you. Sock yourself in the throat one time, it's terrible, okay? So one more time, he's gonna unlock and jump, pull, and all the way down. All right, and he lands in that bottom position, okay? Next position we're gonna go through is the top of the knees, which would be the mid hang, all right? So now we're gonna start closing the hip. We're gonna start building some tension in the hamstrings. All right, so, and those are the major flexors that we're trying to use in Olympic lifting in general. All right, so he's gonna unlock his knees. Now he's gonna start to close his hips. He's gonna push his butt back, and that should get the bar to the top of his knee. All right. If the athlete loads improperly, so let's stand back up. If the athlete loads improperly, you would see this. So he would unlock his knees, and he would just continue to push the bar down. His chest or his back position wouldn't really change positions. All right, it would still be in the same position as it was. So you can still see here that his chest is perpendicular with the ground, right? That's a no-no. They've loaded the quads, and now you can't create any firing through the hamstrings, right? So he unlocks, very important, he can unlock, and then close the hip, butt goes back, right? Now he's loaded back here, right, and he's ready to go. So now from this position, Jeff's gonna continue to drag the bar up his thighs, and then jump again and pull, right? That's that second position, that's that mid-hang position. Right, now we have a chance to build some tension, right? So it's not just a big jump and shrug, right? You're kind of getting some muscles firing, and you're able to create a little more momentum and elevation on the bar. All right. So now, after that, now we're just going to simulate what it would be like coming off the ground. Okay, so he unlocks his knees, he closes his hip. All right, and once the bar's to the top of his knees, now he's going to push his butt straight down. Right. Now he's got this nice flat back there. He's got this 45-degree angle to his back. Right, his shoulders are behind the bar, very important, right? Anytime we start, if Jeff were to be here, that weight's gonna be out in front of him, right? I know it's a minor difference, but you wanna make sure that your shoulders are either right on top of the bar or slightly behind it, okay? Now, as he comes up, he's just gonna go back to those process, hit all those positions again. Top of the knee, jumps, pulls, gets down, all right? Very important that the athlete does not go around the knee. It shows what that looks like. If he were to go around his knees, right, you see how the bar's out in front of him, he didn't load his hamstrings, right, he didn't build any tension back there. Now he's gonna jump, that weight's gonna be out in front of him, or he's not gonna be able to create much of a jump at all. Okay, so very important as the athlete comes off the ground that you make sure that they're pushing their knees back to come up. All right, knees go back, he hits all 3 spots, right, jumps and pulls himself down. And that's the basics of the clean.